What is going on? This is Riley with the Riley Reformed channel, and today we are going to be talking about the rise and more recently the fall of Netflix, specifically looking at the company's stock price in particular. I know what you're thinking. Most likely you have heard about Netflix's recent stock catastrophe, as the stock has dropped over 73.5% from its high of 70.99 price per share to around 190 price per share at the recording of this video, as the stock shows no signs of stopping based on the announcement that the company lost subscribers for the first time in its existence. This is a very big deal, as the main revenue source from a subscription-based service is, after all, its subscribers. So I thought this could be an interesting time to evaluate Netflix's stock price and see if its recent dip can mean anything of value to make you more money. One way you can for sure make more money is by hitting the subscribe button and liking the video for the YouTube algorithm if you have not done so already, and now we will get into it. First, I want to disclaim that I am by no means a financial advisor. I'm just somebody who enjoys the topic of personal finance and sharing my experiences with others. And I thought I could bring some insight into a normal, everyday person's view of Netflix in general and see where Netflix is going in the future. So Netflix has been riding high these last couple of years as their subscribers have just kept growing and growing, and eventually they surpassed over 200 million subscribers in the early stages of 2020. But looking at a subscriber chart, and more specifically a recent subscriber growth chart, we can see that Netflix is starting to fall off. Netflix has a very real threat that it has not had even 5+ years ago, and that is significantly increased competition. So sure, not every streaming service that has come out in the last couple of years is a true competitor to Netflix. Something that comes to mind real quick to me is Paramount Plus and Discovery Plus. I don't know a single person that uses those services, but services like Disney Plus, Hulu, and even HBO Max are for sure slowly eating away at the subscriber count of Netflix. For example, you can now get the Disney bundle, which includes Disney Plus, Hulu, unfortunately with ads, which is kind of gross, but it also includes ESPN Plus, for far less money than Netflix now offers. How can Netflix compete with that? The answer is that they're struggling to do so, and it's very clear that they are struggling to do so. After all, why would you pay more money for arguably less content? You can get 3 services combined with the Disney bundle for less than the price of one, which is Netflix. In my eyes, I really do believe that Netflix has been lacking on the content side of things, especially since the pandemic hit in early 2021. Shows that I really enjoy, such as Stranger Things, which is also Netflix's most popular show, have not released a new season in almost 3 years. Okay, think about that for a second. 3 years. Can you even believe that? Look, I know the pandemic hit hard. It hit very hard, and it hit especially harder for production companies to keep up with producing these shows during this time. But where do we draw the line? Maybe there were a significant portion of people who are only subscribed for 1 or 2 shows, and they got sick of waiting for them to come out, so they unsubscribed. Overall, it's a pretty simple formula for a streaming service to retain users. You have to release good content at a consistent rate. And simply put, Netflix has not been doing that the last few years. I believe the lack of content, and pretty soon Netflix's most popular shows ending. For example, Stranger Things is ending after season 5, and Ozark season 4 had just released. These shows ending is another main reason that Netflix is losing subscribers. However, I don't believe that this is the only reason. Another reason could be the fact that subscribers did not hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, but as always, that could still improve. Netflix has also been engaging in very anti-consumer policies recently, such as cracking down on password sharing when the company openly accepted it a few years back, and also considered placing ads on their service right after they raised prices again, when consumers are already dealing with steady inflation in all other aspects of their lives. Consumers have simply had enough and cannot keep up with all of these rising costs. If they have to cut out something out of their budget because they can't afford it, entertainment such as Netflix will be one of the first things to go. So before I get into whether or not you should invest in Netflix, I wanted to discuss the anti-consumer policies. So the idea of password sharing is not a new concept to streaming services, and I do not believe there is an issue with the concept itself because the solution is already built into streaming services. Have you ever sat down and wanted to watch a Netflix show and you want to stream it because it just released, a new season just came out after 3 years, and it told you that too many screens were active? Well, yeah, that's happened to me as well. And if only 2 people can watch Netflix at the same time with the standard plan, what benefit would I be getting if I shared that password to one of my friends? Well, none, because I wouldn't be able to use the service as much because too many screens will be active. And that is the reason why the solution is already built into the service, and it has been since the beginning of its existence. Companies implement these limitations for a reason, and I believe Netflix is being extremely greedy and cocky, implementing a policy that does not allow you to share a password. Public image is also a very important concept when you choose to support a company, and the times where Netflix has been in the news recently have all been negative. Netflix wanting to take away the ability from my grandma to use my Netflix account will definitely cause some accounts to cancel their service, and I believe they will even lose more subscribers. I know people that split their Netflix password, and Netflix taking away the ability to share it and therefore canceling the ability to share the price will cause those people to cancel their service altogether, because I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. The only reason they have Netflix is because they can share it with somebody, split the price, and therefore the cost is less for them. Netflix, on the other hand, is thinking of it at a high level. Well, they think that if we cancel this policy, we'll get more money. However, I have heard from some of my friends that if they were to implement this policy, they would cancel it altogether, and therefore they would lose even more subscribers. So now coming back to Netflix's stock price, if you weren't able to tell based on my tone throughout this whole video, I do not believe Netflix has been making the right business decisions recently. The combination of Netflix increasing their prices again, its decreasing public image, and increased competition from other services like Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max make it a very hard sell. And while I do believe that Netflix's stock will rebound at least somewhat, I do not believe it will be a reliable source of increased wealth in the future, and I don't think it's worthwhile in purchasing this stock. This truly marks a turning point in Netflix as they lost subscribers for their first time in its history, and that is a very, very big deal, and investors know this, and that is why there was such a big sell-off. So I know the sell-off may have been a bit of a overreaction, as the company still has over 200 million subscribers. So it's just very plain and simple that they will not be going anywhere anytime soon. But I do think that Netflix will have to increase their public image to regain subscribers in the future. The problem with that, though, is that changing your company's perception in the public eye can take years. And for Netflix to gain more subscribers, they will need to output more content at a higher quality, which is much easier said than done in the long term. So if I was choosing to invest in Netflix or not, right now I would simply hold off. The stock is way too volatile, and even though it has dipped, it's potential that it could dip farther and farther and farther, and the last thing you'd want is to lose money. So I would hold off, wait for the stock to potentially rebound. If it does, it may never in the future, so that's why I'm asking you to hold off and see how it goes. Simply put, just wait out the ride. So that has been it for this video. I really do appreciate each and every one of you sticking around until the end of this video. It really does mean a lot to me. If you're new here, please consider viewing some of my other videos where I talk about other personal finance topics. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please also consider doing so. I hope your day is as pleasant as you are, and I hope to see you in the next video.